Now, London has always been a major fashion hub, and one of its more recent offerings is Glam Africa, a platform that offers fashion and lifestyle advice to the capital's black youngsters. Well, using blogs, fashion shows and a magazine, Glam Africa is aiming to bring African culture and style to a new and bigger audience. I'm delighted to say that Chioma S Onwutalobi is the founder of Glam Africa, and she joins me in the studio. A very good morning to you. It seems to embrace so many things, doesn't it?
Well, it does. What we're trying to do is not just do what everyone else has done. So we've got the magazine, we've got the fashion show, and we've got a daily updated blog. So if you're into African fashion, you have this one-stop hub, and on a daily basis, you've got a lot of interesting things to be exposed to. And that's the reason we've done it that way.
So these are designers as well displaying their wares on this portal, and people can buy, but also share ideas as well.
Yes, that's what it is about, actually, because what we're trying to do is create a community. So we don't want you to just attend a one-off fashion show and you have to wait another year. So you feel like you're part of Glam Africa, you meet the people who are interested, and we can, apart from the fashion show, we'll hold, regular meetups with our followers, our fans.
So you meet them face to face.
Exactly. So everyone knows who's everyone, and then at the end of the day, you meet other readers online, you get the magazine, you get the fashion show. So it's really a community, not just a fashion hub. It's a mix of both, really.
It's interesting as well that you've gone for the magazine, because some people would say, well, hang on a minute, this isn't really the right climate to launch a magazine, because so many titles have gone and so many are struggling to survive. So what makes you think that perhaps this title that you're launching is actually going to hang on there and just really make a name for itself?
Well, it's all about creating a niche, and there is definitely a need for for an African fashion magazine in the UK. There are a few, but like I said, we're doing it differently. We're making sure that everyone feels like they're part of it and they feel like they need it. Especially with the blog, it helps a lot because you're there every day, and then you just can't wait for the next issue to come out, as opposed to just springing it on people, and So I think it's different, and I think it's all about doing it differently, really.
I mean, my business hat tells me that what you're doing is building up this online community, and if you have a captive audience of, let's say, 1 million, those 1 million will then feed into the magazine, because the magazine extends on what is offered on the portal.
Exactly, and that's the main thing. And apart from what you've just said, it's also the fact that they actually meet each other in person. So you write comments on the blog, or you read the magazine and you leave your comments or whatever, and eventually you meet the same people in real life. So
it's an interesting idea.
So we've just gone about it a different way.
I mean, the interesting thing is that I've spoken to quite a few designers, African designers. They've brought their works in. We've seen pictures of them. They're absolutely wonderful, etc. And for a lot of them, they feel that if we can actually get an established design house to work with us, that could be a turning point, which is an honourable aspiration to have. But I suppose the danger is if too many Western design houses get involved and something gets lost in the mix. The unique African spirit is Europeanized or whatever, but either which way, it is claimed by these design houses. Is that a legitimate fear?
It is, and we've already had that situation in the last 4 or 5 years. So you go to Fashion Week, for example, and you see these African-inspired, collections, and I think the fear, it's not a bad thing for them to, go ahead and do that. We want everyone to know about African fashion. We want the word to go out. But I think the main concern is, what about the people who's been doing it for the last 10, 20 years?
Yeah.
Are you knocking them out of the market?
They get lost in the story.
Exactly. But that's where Glam Africa comes in. We want to create a portal, and we want people to know, we want to take African fashion globally. So they can go ahead and do what they're doing mainstream, and we do ours, and make sure our designers are ahead.
That's important. And of course, one of the other conduits which is coming out of this is the Fashion Night. Now, tell me about that, because that's happening, is it this month or next month?
On the 22nd of February, is a Sunday.
It is this month, right?
Yes.
OK, then. So this is going to be a big event.
It is. We're having 500 guests.
500?
500 fashionable guests. Yes. We have 6 designers confirmed, and yes, everyone's looking forward to it, really.
So 6 designers, so how much showcasing will there be? Because presumably there'll be a catwalk as well.
There is a catwalk, so each designer has, a few minutes to showcase their work, and then, but apart from the designers, we have performance, we have comedy. So really, it's a night out with fashion thrown in. I
mean, the other interesting thing as well, I mean, just looking at some of the designs, etc., from your site, and an advert as well for the big event, is that whenever we talk about African fashion. And again, it comes back to something that's happened in the studio here, that it's always been female designers bringing in clothes for women. Now, I suppose that women always had that interest in fashion. Is it true for black guys that maybe we're missing them out as well? That, you know, hey, we like to buy great things as well. Shouldn't we be part of the narrative?
It used to be the case. The good thing is Glam Africa magazine has two sides. So you buy an edition and you've got the male side and the female side.
So it's consciously structured that way, that half of it's for men and half of it's for women?
Exactly. So we have both our male and our female audience. Even the designers, we've got 6 so far, and Kwame Korateng, who is showcasing on the day, he does both male and female wears. So we're not leaving the men out, that's for sure.
Well, that's always the danger, isn't it? That it's going to be seen as something which is just for the women only. But I mean, what's the game plan on what you're doing? Because it is extremely ambitious. If we get together in 5 years' time, where will you be?
In 5 years' time, we want people to know that if you want to find out about what the Africans are doing, African designers are doing, you want to come to Glam Africa. And I think apart from Glam Africa benefiting from this, I think we also want the designers to be known. We want not just the designers, and they don't have to be just of African origin. It's everyone who works hard towards the African community. We want them to get known.
Well, we wish you the very best of luck. But Chioma S Onwutalobi, thank you so much for coming in. Thank you.